What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button. As always, it does a lot to get this video out to other people, and you can always undo the like button if you don't like it. In today's video, I want to highlight a few parts of this stream Richard Heart did with a lot of women. It was kind of a goofy stream. A lot of stuff was said, but there were actually some good points besides like all the other irrelevant like hex talk. And then I'm going to go into a little comparison on PulseChain and Ethereum, update on Maximus DAO, and then I also want to talk about freepulse.io towards the end. So let's just get into it. The format's all right. All right. So the first clip is right here. It's Richard talking about the community of Hex and kind of like what sets the Hex community apart from other communities.
Nothing to do with it. Nothing. You know, I tweeted about it after it was done. Yeah, I'm really proud of the Hex community. I love to be a Hexagon. Like, it's awesome. And people say things like, you know, you make crypto fun again. You're like, what? How? I built a really cool product. I didn't know that the fun would be emergent, you know? But it's something that CZ said earlier. You're going to be here with other Hexagons for 15 years, period. And I imagine a lot longer, because it's not like they stopped staking, right? So I think that the longevity of this community is a lot longer than anyone can expect. We've never seen human beings locking up so many millions of dollars for such a long period of time. It's never happened before, to the best of my knowledge. This is the most engaged community.
All right, so we always talk about the Hex community being great, right? But one thing that sets this community apart from others is that delayed gratification, and you're locking yourself in for 15 years. Now, some of you guys might not have stakes going out 15 years, and that's fine. Hopefully when PulseChain comes out, you will be able to do a 5555 stake. But that bonding for 15 years, we're not going anywhere with these 15-year stakes. And so you might not have one. I'd encourage you to do one, because that's the 38% APY. That's the bread and butter of Hex. But in the long run, this community is only going to get stronger. You look at the amount of people staking Hex. Every day, the amount of people staking Hex is going up. Keep in mind, you need to understand the connection between PulseChain and Hex. Richard Heart said early on in the Hex days that if Ethereum got too congested, if Ethereum got too unusable, and last night everyone was on Twitter tweeting about the gas fees. If you didn't know, Bored Ape Yacht Club, if you don't know what Bored Ape Yacht Club is, it's these NFTs, the most popular NFTs in the world. The minimum price for one is $450,000. A year ago, they were $200 to claim, right? So these ape pictures, there's no utility behind them. They don't even look that cool. But these bored apes went from $0 to $400,000. Some are millions of dollars, right? It's absolutely bonkers. I would say a word, the R word, but don't want to be insensitive. They launched some metaverse land, right? The metaverse, everyone just says metaverse now if they want to sell out their NFT project. And so last night, the reason those fees were so terrible on Ethereum was one NFT collection. Granted, it's the largest NFT collection in the world, by far the most hyped. Not any NFT collection can really collapse the network like this, but even smaller NFT collections make these gas fees unusable. Now, PulseChain, not only is it a solution for Hex, Hex is the 10th most used smart contract on Ethereum, right? Which a lot of people don't realize. In the past year, Hexagon spent $20 million on gas fees. So PulseChain is being created for all Ethereum users, but predominantly it's being created by the founder of Hex, right? So you need to realize that as PulseChain succeeds, a lot of this runoff profit, a lot of these whales in PulseChain are also whales in Hex. And if they like Hex, and they like the store of value for Hex, people don't like to sell their Hex if they're a Hexagon, right? So the profits from PulseChain are just going to funnel into Hex. And the community is different because we have that 15-year time lock, and not a lot of communities have that, right? You look at the top coins from 2013 bull cycle. Those coins aren't here anymore. You look at the top 10 coins from the 2017 bull cycle. The only ones left are Bitcoin and Ethereum. So in 2028, what coins will still be around? I imagine Bitcoin and Ethereum will be. There will be some other new superstars on the block, but Hex will be one that has longevity because there is $14 billion locked for an average of 6.5 years. And a lot of people have that 5555 stake because it gives them the 38% APY. So people aren't going anywhere. Next thing. So Richard Hart has how many tokens now? eHex, he'll have pHex, which Hex, let's just consider Hex one. PulseChain is another. PLSX is a third. But listen to what he said about having a fourth token. All right, so
Committed.
if you've missed all the sacrifices so far, one, you're still really early on PulseChain and PulseX. Think of Ethereum when it came out. The ICO for Ethereum, you could have gotten Ethereum for 15 cents, right? When it came out, it was about a dollar a few months later, right? So it was already a 10x up. A lot of people looked at Ethereum, dude, I should have bought the ICO price. It's already up 10x. A few years later, Ethereum's $3,000, $4,000 a token, right? So you have to have a long-term vision here. Yes, you might have missed a sacrifice phase or two, but there's going to be more. There's going to be a fourth Richard Hart coin. And even if there isn't another Richard Hart coin, you're still super early on PulseChain and PulseX. So just keep that in mind. You're not late.
Not sure how, like, it's going to be, I have to adapt to that new reality, which is coming like rapidly. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to have at least 4 tokens to be talking about, at least 4. So we've got eHex.
Yeah, so then he just says the 4 different tokens. And whether that's a wallet token, he said at least 4, right? So there could be more than 4 tokens. So bottom line here is you're not late. If anything, you're early. A lot of the crypto community still doesn't even know who Richard Hart is. I was in one of my, I'm not here to talk about NFTs. I already have been talking about them too much. I know Richard hates NFTs. I mean, but the truth is, if you can make money, I'm going to be looking into it, and you can make money in NFTs, like crazy money. But you'll probably get wrecked, actually, more likely, because so many of these NFT products are BS. To make money in NFTs, you need to know someone who has all the NFT alpha. You basically need to know other rich NFT people. If you know rich NFT holders, you're going to know the next projects. But the only way you get into that is by having value to add, by being a rich NFT holder yourself. And I'm not. But I was talking in one of my NFT chat rooms, and they were saying, no one knew who Richard Hart was, right? So a lot of people are, and that's the good thing about NFTs. It opens the gates for people that are speculating on crypto, and then maybe they'll learn about actual like product market fit and things like Hex and PulseChain. But a lot of people still don't know about Richard Hart, PulseChain, and yeah. So next clip here. TikTok. Okay, so here Richard Hart talks about TikTok, and if you don't know about TikTok, I'll just play the clip and then I'm going to get into my alpha, because I have some really good alpha on TikTok. If you want to grow your TikTok and you just want to like spread Hex to other people, there's pretty much no other better platform.
Our community get places, because he's done that for a living, taking things from one place to a bigger place, you know? So yeah, I think for a younger demographic, I think TikTok is the best place. And then keep an eye out for whatever the next TikTok is going to be. I guess like TikTok beat up Snap and Snap beat up Insta. So basically like the hierarchy was like Facebook got killed by Insta, got killed by Snap, got killed by TikTok, is like how it's gone, I think. And so probably TikTok's the best spot right now. And we even have like apparently huge traction there, and I need to make an account. Like, it's stupid of me to create content and not have an account everywhere that I could just copy and paste my content, you know?
Oh yeah, totally. Okay, one other question, and then we can move on to someone else. Where do you want the ecosystem to be within the next 5 years?
And he's going to talk about TikTok more in a second here. But essentially, great question by Fashion Coder. Where do you want the ecosystem to be in the future? And Richard, I'm not going to play his clip, but he says total vertical domination, right? He wants an on-ramp. He wants a store of value. He wants an exchange, PulseX. He wants a blockchain, PulseChain. Richard basically wants to create a one-stop shop for all things crypto, and that's what we're doing right now. And who better to do it than the man that created Hex, the token that made more cryptocurrency millionaires than pretty much everything in the past 2.5 years, besides Shiba, besides maybe some other joke coins. Anything, it's got to be top 3, right? So why would you bet against a man who already has a track record? Now back to TikTok. TikTok's the best way to get reach on social media. Instagram, you can't get organic reach. YouTube, very difficult. Twitter, I'm not an expert on Twitter, but TikTok is the easiest place to get crazy reach. And Backstory, I used to have a TikTok with 3.8 million followers, 100 million likes. I don't say that to brag, but I just say that because I really understand the algorithm of TikTok and how to get engagement and really grow on there. And a lot of people think like copying is bad, right? And you don't want to like copy videos and stuff. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Copying is not bad on social media, especially when you're copying the people that are crushing it. And so I'm going to fast forward to that part. Richard doesn't even do TikTok, but what he says here is the most spot on advice I could give anyone. And that's coming from someone who used to have millions of followers before I did crypto. And once I learned about crypto, I was like, wow, cryptocurrency is a much better return on your time than anything else. I don't care if you're a successful millions of followers on social media like I had. Cryptocurrency is going to pay you out better. And who really wants to be famous? Not me. So yeah, listen to Richard's advice right here.
If you're looking for like to generate offspring, all dudes won't do it.
And I'm sorry, Sammy Chica, for covering your face here.
Yeah, cool.
So to really answer your question, Mrs. Fashion Coder, I would copy successful video gambits. So they cycle through like what the popular videos are. I guess shaking your ass and doing dances never goes away if you're hot or whatever. But there will be other videos you can do without that. So like the I offer you this, you get that meme. So basically the memes that go viral, just copy that platform and make it fit to whatever you're doing. It's funny. You're going to get a much higher success rate copying known good comic bits than you are trying to generate your own from scratch. You'll just be perma-wrecked. Like comedy's hard, virality's hard. If you see other people doing well with a format, copy that format.
Virality is hard, right? Copying people is how you need to, like when I had all my TikTok success, I basically found videos that did well and then I adapted them a bit to myself. You need to find formats that do well. On TikTok, you basically every split second, a little bit of information on TikTok. The average user on TikTok spends 61 minutes a day on the app. If you've ever used TikTok, these videos, a lot of them are just like 1 or 2 seconds, 10 seconds long. The average TikTok video is like 12 seconds, right? And the average user spends 60 minutes a day on these short little videos. What does that mean? It goes to show how addicting the algorithm is. But essentially, if you're trying to grow, you're trying to get the hex word out on TikTok, you need to copy formats that work, see people that are getting engagement, even if the other people in the hex community, and copy those formats, okay? Virality is not easy to attain. And then the last part of this stream, I want to talk about, I want to play the clip where Richard talks about other sacrifice projects on PulseChain. And this was a question by Crypto Stylist. Crypto Stylist, if you're watching this, you need to come on my stream. I want to do an interview with you. That'd be amazing. And a lot of other hexagons. But she basically asks about all these other projects launching on PulseChain. And in the past, we've seen like inter-community fighting about like someone like me. I don't really talk down on other sacrifices, but my thing with the sacrifice phase is it's not a sacrifice phase unless it's Richard Hart. Okay, Richard Hart created a lot of value before crypto. He created a lot of value with Hex. He has a track record, and that's what enabled Richard to do a sacrifice. Excuse me. That's what enabled Richard to do a sacrifice phase and raise $1.6 billion. Jeez, excuse me. Across both of those. So my ethos is if it's not a Richard Hart sacrifice phase, it's not a sacrifice phase, right? And we had all these other sacrifice phases, and I hope all these other projects do well. But Richard kind of nails exactly what I was saying about other sacrifice phases in his ecosystem from a pure like hex maximalist position. And if you're investing in other things related to PulseChain, you're probably somewhat of a PulseChain hex maximalist already. So just let Richard say it.
No.
Analyze the scams? No, it's going to be endless scam build.
Well, not
just like
scams, but there are going to be legitimate projects that launch too.
Yes, there
like
will
good
be.
ones that
That's
are
right.
flourishing.
Yep.
And
there's good projects launch now that I don't talk about.
Okay.
You have to decide what ticker symbols you care about.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get people to sell the ticker symbol you care about to buy another one you care less about, you It doesn't work. Like, so this is, I covered this earlier with the diode statement. If you can on-ramp more people to your stuff than you lose to their stuff, then you win. Your number go up, their number go down. That simple. Unless you're on-ramping no coiners, and then nobody's number has to go down. The US dollar number goes down. So
Well, that's
on-ramping
good,
no coiners is, but like, so, but the art of it is, if you already a hexagon and you have followers that are hexagons, there is more risk in the other direction because your whole audience is just hexagons.
Right. So a lot of us hexagons that are looking at these other projects, we're already hexagons. So unless you have millions of dollars in fiat and you can just throw money at anything like the God Whale and just support all projects, I don't think it's the smartest idea to choose these other projects that are taking away your economic capital from PLS, PLSX, and Hex, right? The true proven products by Richard Hart. Don't want these products to fail. I hope they all do well, but I think they're better options to wait on and just let them prove themselves, right? Every dollar, unless you're bringing on people that have no Hex or PulseChain, which a lot of these projects aren't. A lot of these projects are taking money away from the products that we like. So yeah, I kind of just want to play that because it backs up what I was saying about sacrifice phases. And one project that Richard does talk about is Maximus. He literally mentions Maximus DAO, Maximus.cash in this. And he also mentions Hedron. And I thought it was interesting how he only mentions Hedron and Maxi. And one thing those have in common is they didn't ask for money. Maximus asked for you to pledge Hex to them, but in exchange, you got the Maxi token. Hedron, on the other hand, just rewarded you with Hedron for your stakes. I like these two products, how they launched. And it doesn't mean they're better than the other Hex-related projects, PulseChain-related projects. But the nice thing about these is they just rewarded the ecosystem instead of asking for capital from the ecosystem. Not saying asking for capital is bad, but when you don't have a track record like Richard, I don't think it makes sense to take money away from opportunities like PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex, because these things most likely will outperform all the other PulseChain related projects. Speaking of Maximus too, if you don't know what it is, essentially it's a way for you to pool money to get the value of a 555 stake. So essentially $50 million just yesterday was staked by Maximus DAO. And this 294 million Hex was sent to this wallet by a bunch of different hexagons. I think either 5,000 or 8,000 total people participated in Maximus DAO. But I think Richard named these projects because they were projects that he likes, how they targeted the community. They didn't necessarily take away capital from his projects, but they built on the ecosystem and they reward the people that they're targeting, the hexagons. So yeah, 42,000 T-shares, 300 million Hex taken off the market. Congratulations to Maximus.cash. I think it's a great project, and the stake just happened yesterday. So exciting stuff. So that's all from that stream. Done talking about the ladies of Hex stream. Pretty entertaining stuff if you haven't watched it yet. It's not a lot of crypto talk. It goes off the rails at some point, but it was entertaining. I did watch it all, but I watch all the streams. So cool tweet here from No Girls on the Internet. Interesting name. Hex is currently trending higher than Ethereum on Google Trends. And we can see right here, it might not be above Ethereum, but that's pretty absurd to see that Hex and Ethereum are trending at similar levels, because Ethereum is the entire, smart contract platform of choice, and Hex is just one smart contract on Ethereum, and it's getting the same engagement. And I think a lot of this has to do with the launch of PulseChain. Keep in mind, PulseChain is already a larger community than the Hex community. The Telegram group is bigger. The Twitter account is bigger. More people understand PulseChain because it's just Ethereum with lower fees and faster speeds. This parlays perfectly to a quick comparison between PulseChain and Ethereum. This is very simple. You don't need to drag this out. Ethereum and PulseChain, very similar, but PulseChain has lower fees and faster speeds. right? So why would anyone choose to use a network where they have to pay $50 for a transaction? Last night, one NFT project ruined the whole Ethereum network. Vitalik even came out and made a statement on how one project could collapse the whole network and how he's not in favor of these $3 million Bored Ape pictures, because crypto is not about making $1 million JPEGs that have purely speculative value and no product market fit. It's about changing the world and innovation. And I mean, if you made money with NFTs, great, but it's not really about innovating. So the easiest comparison, PulseChain and Ethereum. PulseChain is Ethereum, but lower fees, faster speeds. It's that simple. Not everyone will use PulseChain, but why wouldn't you choose to pay less and not wait as long? I think most people will. And then you build into that the largest airdrop in history, as if faster speeds and lower fees weren't good enough. You're gonna have the largest airdrop in history. And if you've never experienced an airdrop, it's essentially a way to onboard people to your new protocol or community. Typically, it just targets one little niche of crypto, one little space. In this case, we're targeting the most popular smart contract platform, Ethereum, right? There's never been an airdrop like this massive. All these coins copied. And that's why it's exciting to just see this launch, because this is a case study for the future of crypto. This could potentially snipe Ethereum's traffic. And I don't think PulseChain is going to become the new Ethereum, but that doesn't need to be achieved for PulseChain to have massive success. The great thing about PulseChain is there's a lot of other things like it. We have a lot of other layer 2 solutions, and I call them Ethereum problem solvers, right? Ethereum has too much congestion, but it's still the tried and true project to build on for developers. It's the most secure blockchain. It has the longest track record of being secure, and that's why all these developers choose to build on PulseChain. Choose to build on Ethereum. Hopefully they choose to build on PulseChain in the future. But you can just compare PulseChain to similar things like it. Shout out Hex McKenzie. She makes beautiful, not sure who, makes beautiful infographics. And right here, these are the other things like PulseChain. Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, which is a joke. Solana actually, yesterday Solana went down. The whole blockchain, you couldn't transact, you couldn't do anything, your money was stuck. And Solana's gone down like 6 times before, but it still did a 1,200x in 500 days, right? PulseChain, I mean, Hex didn't go down for the past two and a half years. Hex has been perfectly flawless. And Richard doesn't want to release software that isn't perfectly flawless. That's why it's been a whole year. That's why we're still waiting for PulseChain. But you have something like Solana did a 1,200x, and this thing goes down every month, right? Luna, 1,000x. Phantom, 2,000x. All these products did amazing, right? Did any of these products have founders like Richard Hart who understand tokenomics, understand pumpamentals, understand game theory like Richard? Or were they just more concerned with making a protocol that had lower fees? Richard understands cryptocurrency. He understands people aren't in this for the tech, people are in this for money, right? It's a meme. Oh, I'm in blockchain for the tech. I like technology. Well, you could invest in tech companies and tech startups as well. The reason that people are in, and people don't always want to be honest with themselves, the reason we're all here is to make money, right? Cryptocurrency is the best way for people to get rich in this world, period, for the amount of time you have to work. You can buy something in 1,000x your money in a year or two. The only other way you're going to 1,000x your money in this world is by creating some life-changing innovation or crazy software. And that's not easy. Those are very high barriers to entry. You need to know how to program. You need to relentlessly work for thousands of hours. It's not easy, right? In crypto, you can just buy something and do a 1,000x. It's crazy, right? And it won't always be like this. So anyone that's watching this, pat yourselves on the back, especially people that are in that older demographic. Sometimes on the live call-in show, I had a grandma call in on the last show, and this grandma was talking about, shout out to Jerry, I think that's her name if she's watching. She was talking about how her kids don't even understand crypto, but she's out here investing in crypto because she understands the value in it. And I like younger people, they tend to understand crypto a little bit more. A lot of people my age in their 20s don't like crypto. They think it's just like a scam. There's no real value. But keep in mind, in the earliest days of the internet, people thought the internet was only going to be for email. And now look how the internet has taken over the entire world, right? Web 2.0. And we are in the era of Web 3.0, right? The next internet boom. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, some of the richest people in the world, already some of the richest people in the world, their wealth is from cryptocurrency. Look at the founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, multi-billionaire. Look at Richard Hart, multi-billionaire. Look at Vitalik, not sure if he's a billionaire, but massively wealthy. The amount of money that will be coming from this industry in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be life-changing. And so if you're here, congrats to you. PulseChain, look at the competitors. They all did well. We have better game theory, better tokenomics. PulseX, same thing. PulseX is not the first decentralized exchange. We have many decentralized exchanges, Uniswap being the biggest exchange, and PulseChain is a fork of Uniswap. Keep that in mind. Uniswap did a 100x in 2/3 of a year. And Uniswap was just, when it launched, it was a protocol. It didn't even have a token. The Uniswap token was just duct taped on. It doesn't really have any value. There's no use case for the Uniswap token. It did a 100x in 200 days. PulseX, it's deflationary, crazy tokenomics, a lot more utility, right? Because PulseX was designed with the token in the back of Richard's mind. Rune, 2000x in 2 years. Just look at these, right? PulseX and PulseChain are not the first innovations of their kind. Very similar products out there to PulseChain and PulseX, and they all do great. That's why this stuff is a no-brainer to anyone that understands crypto. I've told my friends who know about crypto, and the ones that really trust me, they might not know much about crypto. They've put money into these projects. But some of my friends that think they know about crypto, I sent them videos, I sent them stuff about this, and they were like, oh, I don't have capital, I can't, my money's tied up. What better opportunity is there than a fresh blockchain that is a fork of Ethereum in a fresh decentralized exchange, which is a fork of Uniswap, with insane game theory and insane tokenomics? If you can't get this, sorry, you can't save some people from themselves, but anyone that understands crypto, anyone who understands buying in early is when you get the life-changing gains. It's also when you get tremendously wrecked. Shout out to 100 people watching. That's all-time highs. Just saw that. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, guys. But these are not the first of their kind. There's been other products like this. Only difference is they're not Richard Hart products. And if you saw Hex, if you ever had Hex in the past 2 years, you did pretty well, and that's because of the insane tokenomics behind it. So, yeah. Moving on. Largest airdrop as well. Forget the tokenomics and the game theory. If there was no deflationary aspects to none of the Richard Hart pump of metals built into PulseChain and PulseX, just the largest airdrop in history. Take away all the Richard Hart game theory. This alone, I said this early in the video, I can't understate how big this airdrop is going to be. There's never been anything like it. So you ask people, what's the price of PulseX on launch? What's the price of PulseChain on launch? No one knows, man. This is the first of its kind. There's never been something like this in crypto. So like, we just need to wait and see how this goes. It could backfire all these coins. You know, to be perfectly transparent, it might not have a great effect, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think when people get airdropped free tokens, they tend to claim their free money. And once they see, oh, I can transact in 3 seconds. Oh, I can swap for under a penny. Oh, I can stake my PLSX on a single-sided pool and get maybe 30% APY. Oh, I can go liquidity provide, and I already have half of the pair to be an LP. All these yield farmers out here, they're going to love this product. So, okay, moving on. Last thing I want to talk about before the Q&A is freepulse.io. Got a lot of people watching, and freepulse.io, really quickly, it's made by the creators of the logo of PulseChain. The logo of PulseX was made by these guys. One of them may or may not have worked for Richard in the past. May or may not have. Not saying he did. Not saying he didn't. They put up money from their own bags. These guys are just rich Hexicans. They have probably a lot of money from Hex. They probably put a lot of money into PulseChain, and they have put aside some of their money to create a faucet where we can free claim. So I'll show you really quick how it works. You do a CAPTCHA. You can do this once an hour. Do my CAPTCHA. It rolls a number, and based off the number, boom, I got 1 free Pulse token. So not much right now, right? But imagine in the early days of Ethereum, if you could claim 1 Ethereum token or 0.1 Ethereum token when it was 15, 20 cents. 2 years later, after a 10,000x, that penny you claim today could be massive in the future. So I encourage everyone to use freepulse.io. It has a gambling component too, which I don't recommend anyone gambles, but it's free Pulse tokens. So if you miss the PulseChain sacrifice, this is going to be a great place to just get free Pulse tokens. And even though I sacrifice for PulseChain, I'm going to be on here every day. Now, these guys are doing a dedication phase. And the thing I want to ask you guys, and if you do, be vocal about this in the comments section, because they've approached me about doing a dedication pool. Essentially, they're going to do, it's called a dedication phase, not a sacrifice phase, for their free Pulse token. And it's just going to be a week long. But if you guys are interested, I will create a pool where we can dedicate as 1 address to get a higher volume multiplier. Because if you know, on sacrifice phases, the more money, the more economic capital you put in, the higher volume bonus you get. And this free Pulse token, it might get turned into a DAO in the long run. So whoever holds FP might have the possibility to vote. You could potentially have in-house advantages if you like to gamble. 30% of the potential profits from this website could generate a buyback program. So similar to the PLSX buy and burn. You could see that here. And if you guys haven't heard of this website, in the past month, they got 3.6 million views. And this website, you can't even claim real Pulse yet. A lot of people say, oh, it's fake Pulse, it's not real Pulse. Buddy, that's because PulseChain does not exist yet. How could they give you free PLS when the token isn't even live yet? If you read the website, you'll see that once it is real Pulse, once the mainnet comes out for PulseChain, once the PLS token exists, this is going to be real Pulse. Right now, they just have the website for you to mess around on. In the future, this will be real Pulse. Right now, it's not redeemable for real Pulse because the PLS token isn't out. Right? Once the PLS token is out, this will be a place to claim free Pulse. And if you guys are interested, I'm only going to do this if the community wants it. I'll do a dedication pool. So we'll be able to pool our money together so we can get a higher volume multiplier on this free Pulse token. Okay. But either way, I would encourage everyone to just use this website once PulseChain comes out, because no one else is giving you free PLS. No one, right? And the guys behind this are very legitimate. I've done an interview with them. They're some of the most trusted community members, and they're just taking money out of their pockets because they've done very well with Hex to give back to us. So shout out to them. And do comment below. Would you guys participate in a free Pulse pool or not? If you guys use Twitter, tweet at me and let me know that you would participate in the free Pulse pool. I think I have a tweet. I'll pin it if I haven't already. But it'll be at the top of my Twitter. And just let me know if you guys will participate in that. If no one's interested, I won't do it. But if people are interested, I will do it. Yeah, here, I'll pin this tweet right now. If I hosted a free Pulse dedication pool, would you participate? Yes or no? And yeah, guys, thanks for 9,000 subscribers on the road to 10K. Go over to my Twitter. Let me know if you're interested in a dedication pool. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. God bless you. Have a great week. And until next time.